U.S. Veteran Websites by State. Chapter 1. Veteran Websites by U.S. State. State Veteran Websites 1. Alabama. va.state.al.us, Department of Veterans Affairs. Personnel.alabama.gov, State of Alabama Government Jobs. Alaska. dmva.alaska.gov, Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. jobs.state.ak.us/veterans, Veterans Services. jobs.state.ak.us/statejobs.html, State of Alaska Government Jobs. dps.state.ak.us/ast/recruit, State Troopers. Arizona. azdvs.gov, Department of Veterans Services. secure.az-statejobs.gov/pljb/az-gov/mainjb/applicant/index.jsp, State of Arizona Government Jobs. azdps.gov/careers, Department of Public Safety Jobs. Arkansas. veterans.arkansas.gov, Department of Veterans Affairs. azda.gov/esa/vets.asp. ark.org/arstatejobs/index.php. California. cdva.ca.gov, Department of Veterans Affairs. edd.ca.gov/jobs_and-training/services_for_veterans.htm, Employment Services for Veterans. cdva.ca.gov/resources/employment.aspx, Employment Resources for Veterans. jobs.ca.gov, State of California Jobs. chp.ca.gov/recruiting/index.html, California Highway Patrol. Colorado. colorado.gov/cs/satellite/departmento-militarian veterans affairs/cbon/1251619753245, Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. colorado.gov/vets, Division of Veterans Affairs. agency.governmentjobs.com/colorado/default.cfm, Colorado State Jobs. colorado.gov. Connecticut. ct.gov/ctva/site/default.asp, Connecticut Department of Veterans Affairs. ctdol.state.ct.us/veterans/default.htm, Veterans Workforce Development. das.ct.gov/cr1.aspx $page=13, Connecticut State Jobs. ct.gov/dpp/cwp/view.asp $4156$q=487880, Connecticut Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection. D.C. ova.dc.gov, District of Columbia Office of Veterans Affairs. dchr.dc.gov, District of Columbia Jobs. Delaware. veteransaffairs.delaware.gov, Delaware Commission of Veterans Affairs. delawarestatejobs.com, Delaware State Jobs. dsp.delaware.gov/dsbrecruiting.shtml, Delaware State Police Recruiting. Florida. floridavets.org, Florida Department of Veterans Affairs. flhsmv.gov/fhp/career, Florida Highway Patrol. Georgia. veterans.georgia.gov, Georgia Department of Veterans Service. careers.ga.gov, Georgia State Jobs. dps.georgia.gov/career-opportunities-public-safety, Georgia Department of Public Safety. Hawaii. hawaii.gov/dod/ovs, Hawaii Office of Veterans Services. agency.governmentjobs.com/hawaii/default.cfm, Hawaii State Jobs. Idaho. idaho.gov. veterans.idaho.gov, Idaho Division of Veterans Services. dhr.idaho.gov/statejobs.html, Idaho State Jobs. isp.idaho.gov/hr/currentjobs.html, Idaho State Police. Illinois. illinois.gov/veterans/pages/default.aspx, Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs. work.illinois.gov, Illinois State Jobs. illinoistrooper.com, Illinois State Troopers. Indiana. in.gov/dva, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. in.gov/dva/2390.htm, Indiana Veterans Employment Assistance. in.gov/spd, Indiana State Jobs. in.gov/isp/2368.htm, Indiana State Police. Iowa. va.iowa.gov, Iowa Department of Veterans Affairs. iowaworkforce.org/veterans/index.html, Iowa Veterans Employment Centers. das.hre.iowa.gov/index.html, Iowa State Jobs. dps.state.ia.us/jobs/trooper2.shtml, Iowa Department of Public Safety. Kansas. kcva.ks.gov, Kansas Commission on Veterans Affairs. da.ks.gov/ps/recruitment/veterans/ve-temployeinfo.htm, Kansas Veterans Employment. da.ks.gov/ps/aaa/recruitment, Kansas State Jobs. Kentucky. veterans.ky.gov, Kentucky Department of Veterans Affairs. veterans.ky.gov/employmentinfo, Kentucky Veterans Employment Information. oet.ky.gov/des/veteran/veteran.asp, Kentucky Veterans Employment and Training Services. personnel.ky.gov/employment, Kentucky State Jobs. kentuckystatepolice.org/career.htm, Kentucky State Police. Louisiana. vetaffairs.la.gov, Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs. civilservice.la.gov/index.asp, Louisiana State Jobs. lsp.org/recruit.html, Louisiana State Police. Maine. maine.gov/dvm/bvs, Maine Bureau of Veterans Services. maine.gov/bhr/state_jobs/index.htm, Maine State Jobs. maine.gov/dps/msp/jobs/trooper_recruitment.html, Maine State Police. Maryland. mdva.state.md.us, Maryland Department of Veterans Affairs. mdva.state.md.us/state/employment.html, Maryland Veterans Employment and Business Assistance. dllr.maryland.gov/employment/veteranservices.shtml, Maryland Veterans Services. mdworkforcepromise.org/veterans.html, Maryland Workforce Promise, Help for Homeless Vets. dbm.maryland.gov/jobseekers/pages/jobsearch.aspx, Maryland State Jobs. mdsb.org, Maryland State Police. msbaviation.org/recruit_medic.asp, Maryland State Police Aviation Division, Flight Paramedic. Massachusetts. mass.gov/veterans, Massachusetts Department of Veterans Services. jobs.hrd.state.ma.us/recruit/public/3111/index.do?open form, Massachusetts State Jobs. mass.gov/eopss/agencies/msp, Massachusetts State Police. Michigan. michigan.gov/dmva, Michigan Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. michigan.gov, Michigan Veterans Employment Services. michigan.gov, Michigan State Jobs. Minnesota. mdva.state.mn.us, Minnesota Department of Veterans Affairs. positively-minnesota.com/jobseekers/veterans/employment_for_veterans/indexaspx, Minnesota Veterans Employment Tools. minnesotaveteran.org, Minnesota Veterans Services. Careers.state.mn.us, Minnesota State Careers. dps.mn.gov/pages/default.aspx, Minnesota State Police. Mississippi. vab.ms.gov, Mississippi State Veterans Affairs Board. mdes.ms.gov/home/job-seeker-services/all-veteran-services.html, Mississippi Veterans Services. sbbres.ms.gov/appl-test/soxcq.asp, Mississippi State Personnel Board. dps.state.ms.us/dps/dps.nsf/div pages/hp3rec-general open document, Mississippi Highway Patrol. Missouri. mvc.dps.mo.gov, Missouri Veterans Commission. oa.mo.gov/pers/jos/newjos.htm, Missouri State Jobs. mshop.dps.missouri.gov/mshopweb/patrol division/hrd/index.html, Missouri State Highway Patrol. Montana. montanadma.org/montana-veterans-affairs, Montana Veterans Affairs Department. wsd.dli.mt.gov/veterans/vetemployment.asp, Montana Veterans Employment Services. svc.mt.gov/state-job-search/search results.aspx $size=0, Montana State Jobs. doj.mt.gov/enforcement/highway patrol, Montana Highway Patrol. Nebraska. vets.state.ne.us, Nebraska Veterans Affairs Department. das.state.ne.us, Nebraska State Jobs. statepatrol.nebraska.gov, Nebraska State Patrol. Nevada. veterans.nv.gov, Nevada Office of Veterans Affairs. dop.nv.gov, Nevada State Jobs. dps.nv.gov/recruitment.shtml, Nevada Department of Public Safety. New Hampshire. nh.gov/nh veterans, New Hampshire State Veterans Council. admin.state.nh.us/hr, New Hampshire State Jobs. nh.gov/safety/division/nhsb/ssb/recruitment/index.html, New Hampshire State Police. New Jersey. state.nj.us/military, New Jersey Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. lwd.dol.state.nj.us/labor/wnjpin/find-job/veterans/veterans.html, New Jersey Veterans State.nj.us/csc, New Jersey State Jobs, Civil Service Commission. njsb.org/recruit/recruit.html, New Jersey State Police. New Mexico. dvs.state.nm.us, New Mexico Department of Veterans Services. nmsb.dps.state.nm.us, New Mexico State Police. New York. veterans.state.ny.us, New York State Division of Veterans Affairs. cs.ny.gov/jobseeker, New York State Jobs. troopers.state.ny.us/employment, New York State Police. North Carolina. doa.nc.gov/vets, North Carolina Division of Veterans Affairs. osp.state.nc.us/jobs, North Carolina State Jobs. jobs.nccrimecontrol.org, North Carolina State Police. North Dakota. nd.gov/veterans, North Dakota Veterans Affairs. jobsnd.com/veterans/services-veterans, North Dakota Veterans Services. nd.gov/ndhp/about-us/employment, North Dakota Highway Patrol. Ohio. dvs.ohio.gov, Ohio Department of Veterans Services. dvs.ohio.gov/home/veterans_benefits/employment_services.aspx, Ohio Veterans Careers.ohio.gov, Ohio State Jobs. statepatrol.ohio.gov/recruit.htm, Ohio State Highway Patrol. Oklahoma. ok.gov/ODVA, Oklahoma Department of Veterans Affairs. ok.gov/OPM/HR_and_employee_services/EAP, Oklahoma State Jobs. dps.state.ok.us/ohp/tngrct/ohpweb/index.html, Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Oregon. odva.state.or.us, Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs. oregon.gov/odva/employment.shtml, Oregon Veteran Employment. oregonjobs.org/?PG=BBC, Oregon State Jobs. egov.oregon.gov/OSP/employment.shtml, Oregon State Police. Pennsylvania. milvet.state.pa.us/dmvia/index.htm, Pennsylvania Department of Military and Veterans Affairs. dli.state.pa.us/landy/cwp/view.asp?mark=$129 $Q=$60994, Pennsylvania Veterans Career Services. portal.state.pa.us/portal/server.pt/community/jobseekers/11372, Pennsylvania State Jobs. patrooper.com, Pennsylvania State Troopers. /jobs/pennsylvania.shtml. Rhode Island. dhs.ri.gov/veterans/veterans-services/tabid/307/default.aspx, Rhode Island Division of Veterans Affairs. dlt.ri.gov/webdev/jobs/ri/statejobs.htm, Rhode Island State Jobs. risb.state.ri.us/recruitment, Rhode Island State Police. South Carolina. govop.state.sc.us/va, South Carolina Office of Veterans Affairs. sces.org/individual/vetinfo.htm, South Carolina Veterans Employment Information. ohr.sc.gov/or-jobs-portal-index.phtm, South Carolina State Jobs. schp.org/employment.asp, South Carolina Highway Patrol. South Dakota. mva.sd.gov/default.html, South Dakota Department of Military and Veteran Affairs. bop.sd.gov/workforus, South Dakota State Jobs. dps.sd.gov/enforcement/highway_patrol, South Dakota Highway Patrol. dlr.sd.gov/vet/default.aspx, South Dakota Veterans Services. dlr.sd.gov/vet/upward_bound.aspx, South Dakota Veterans Upward Bound. Tennessee. state.tn.us/veteran, Tennessee Department of Veterans Affairs. tennessee.gov/labor-wfd/veterans.htm, Tennessee Veterans Employment Assistance. agency.governmentjobs.com/tennessee/default.cfm. tn.gov/safety/th/school.shtml, Tennessee Highway Patrol. Texas. tvc.state.tx.us, Texas Veterans Commission. twc.state.tx.us/customers/jsemp/veterans.html, Texas Veterans Employment and Training. wit.twc.state.tx.us/work in Texas/WTX $page.gov_job_bank&cookie check flag =1, Texas State Jobs. txdps.state.tx.us/training academy/trooper_trainee/trainee links.htm, Texas State Troopers. Utah. veterans.utah.gov, Utah Department of Veterans Affairs. jobs.utah.gov/jobseeker/veterans/employtrain.html, Utah Veterans Employment Services. statejobs.utah.gov, Utah State Jobs. publicsafety.utah.gov/highway patrol/employment/employment.html, Utah Highway Patrol. Vermont. va.state.vt.us, Vermont Office of Veterans Affairs. labor.vermont.gov/workers/jobseekers/veterans/tabid/215/item ID/1124/default.aspx, Vermont Veterans Employment Preference. Human Resources.vermont.gov, Vermont State Jobs. vsp.vermont.gov/employment, Vermont State Police. Virginia. dvs.virginia.gov, Virginia Department of Veterans Services. dvs.virginia.gov/job.htm, Virginia Veterans Services Employment. vec.virginia.gov/vec portal/veterans/veteransvcs.cfm, Virginia Veterans Employment Services. jobs.agencies.virginia.gov/applicants/shared/search/search_css.jsp, Virginia State Jobs. vsp.state.va.us/employment.shtm, Virginia State Policy. Washington. dva.wa.gov, Washington Department of Veterans Affairs. careers.wa.gov, Washington State Jobs. wsp.wa.gov/employment/employment.htm, Washington State Patrol. West Virginia. veterans.wv.gov/pages/default.aspx, West Virginia Division of Veterans Affairs. state.wv.us/admin/personnel/jobs, West Virginia State Jobs. wvstatepolice.com/employ/employ.shtml, West Virginia State Police. Wisconsin. dva.state.wi.us, Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs. dwd.state.wi.us/veterans/home_vet.htm, Wisconsin Workforce Development for Veterans. dva.state.wi.us/ben_employment.asp, Wisconsin Veterans Affairs Employment Assistance. wisc.jobs/public/index.asp, Wisconsin State Jobs. dot.wisconsin.gov/state patrol/recruitment/index.htm, Wisconsin State Patrol. Wyoming. wyomingworkforce.org/es/vets.aspx, Wyoming Veterans Employment Services. statejobs.state.wy.us, Wyoming State Jobs. whp.dot.state.wy.us/ydot/page 4827.html, Wyoming Highway Patrol. State Veteran Websites 2. va.gov/statedva.htm, state or territory VA offices. azdvs.gov, Arizona Veterans Affairs Office. cdva.ca.gov, California Veterans Affairs Office. colorado.gov. dmva.alaska.gov, Alaska Veterans Affairs Office. dmva.state.pa.us, Pennsylvania Veterans Affairs Office. doa.state.nc.us/vets/va.htm, North Carolina Veterans Affairs Office. dva.state.wi.us, Wisconsin Veterans Affairs Office. dva.wa.gov, Washington Veterans Affairs Office. dvs.ohio.gov, Ohio Veterans Affairs Office. dvs.state.nm.us, New Mexico Veterans Affairs Office. floridavets.org, Florida Veterans Affairs Office. govoep.state.sc.us/va, South Carolina Veterans Affairs Office. gvao.guam.gov, Guam Veterans Affairs Office. hawaii.gov/dod/ovs, Hawaii Veterans Affairs Office. in.gov/dva, Indiana Veterans Affairs Office. kcva.org, Kansas Veterans Affairs Office. mainebvs.org, Maine Veterans Affairs Office. mdva.state.md.us, Maryland Veterans Affairs Office. mdva.state.mn.us, Minnesota Veterans Affairs Office. Michigan.gov/DMVA, Michigan Veterans Affairs Office. MontanaDMA.org/Montana-Veterans-Affairs, Montana Veterans Affairs Office. MVA.sd.gov/default.html, South Dakota Veterans Affairs Office. MVC.dps.mo.gov, Missouri Veterans Affairs Office. nd.gov/veterans, North Dakota Veterans Affairs Office. odva.state.ok.us, Oklahoma Veterans Affairs Office. odva.state.or.us, Oregon Veterans Affairs Office. ova.dc.gov, District of Columbia Veterans Affairs Office. sdvs.georgia.gov, Georgia Veterans Affairs Office. state.ct.us/ctva, Connecticut Veterans Affairs Office. state.de.us/veteran, Delaware Veterans Affairs Office. state.il.us/agency/dva, Illinois Veterans Affairs Office. state.ma.us/veterans, Massachusetts Veterans Affairs Office. state.nh.us/nh veterans, New Hampshire Veterans Affairs Office. state.nj.us/military, New Jersey Veterans Affairs Office. state.nv.us/veterans, Nevada Veterans Affairs Office. state.tn.us/veteran, Tennessee Veterans Affairs Office. tvc.state.tx.us, Texas Veterans Affairs Office. va.iowa.gov, Iowa Veterans Affairs Office. va.state.al.us, Alabama Veterans Affairs Office. vab.state.ms.us, Mississippi Veterans Affairs Office. vdva.6bnet.org, Virginia Veterans Affairs Office. vetaffairs.com, Louisiana Veterans Affairs Office. veterans.arkansas.gov, Arkansas Veterans Affairs Office. veterans.idaho.gov, Idaho Veterans Affairs Office. veterans.ky.gov, Kentucky Veterans Affairs Office. veterans.ny.gov, New York Veterans Affairs Office. veterans.utah.gov, Utah Veterans Affairs Office. veterans.vermont.gov/ova, Vermont Veterans Affairs Office. veterans.wv.gov/pages/default.aspx, West Virginia Veterans Affairs Office. vets.ri.gov, Rhode Island Veterans Affairs Office. vets.state.ne.us, Nebraska Veterans Affairs Office. wvc.wyo.gov, Wyoming Veterans Affairs Office.